Welcome to Arles. Whether you're just arrived by train or wandered up from the river Rhône, nothing quite prepares you for the moment you turn the corner and face it. There it is, the Amphitheatre. Take a deep breath and just look at it for a moment. This isn't just a ruin, it is a survivor. You are standing before one of the best preserved Roman arenas in the world, a structure that has witnessed 2,000 years of history. From the glory of the empire to the chaos of the Dark Ages, and finally, to the vibrant artistic life of modern Provence. It feels immense, doesn't it? It dominates the town. While the rest of Arles is a cozy patchwork of tiled roofs and narrow shutters, this structure is sheer, calculated power. It was built around 90 AD, shortly after the famous Colosseum in Rome. In fact, if you've been to Rome, you'll recognize a family resemblance. The architects here wanted to bring the grandeur of the capital to the provinces of Gaul. As we stand here for the next few minutes, we are going to peel back the layers of time. We will listen to the roar of the gladiators. We will imagine the medieval houses that once choked these arches. And finally, we will walk the winding streets that hug its massive stone flanks. Let's move a little closer to the outer arches. Look at the stonework. These are huge limestone blocks, quarried nearby. Notice how they fit together without mortar? That is a genius of Roman engineering. Gravity and precision hold this giant together. The arena is an oval, about 136 meters long. In its prime, it had a capacity of over 20,000 spectators. Imagine the entire population of ancient Arles, plus visitors from the countryside, all packed into these stands. Look up, you see 2 levels of arches today, totaling 60 arcades. Originally, there was a 3rd level, an attic, which has been lost to time. The Romans were masters of crowd control. Do you see the numerous arched entrances? They called this system the vomitoria. Not because people were sick, but because the building could spew forth thousands of people in minutes. It was designed so that rich senators and common citizens could enter, find their seats, and exit without ever crossing paths. The lower level is decorated with Doric columns, simple and sturdy. The 2nd level uses a Corinthian style, slightly more elegant. Even though the details have been worn smooth by the Mistral wind over 20 centuries, the elegance remains. Now, I want you to use your imagination. Close your eyes for a second. It is a hot afternoon in the year 150 AD. The sun is beating down, but a massive canvas awning, the velarium, is stretched over the top of the arena to provide shade. The air smells of sweat, spiced wine, and the hot sand of the arena floor. The word arena, by the way, comes from the Latin word harina, meaning sand. Why sand? To soak up the blood. This was the stage of the Munera, the games. In the morning, there were wild animal hunts. Lions, bears, and boars were brought from the far reaches of the empire to fight here in Arles. In the afternoon came the main event, the gladiators. These weren't just mindless killings. They were brutal ballets. Referees stood by. The crowd chanted. Local favorites became celebrities, their names scratched into pottery found by archaeologists right here in this soil. For 400 years, this place was the center of social life. It was where the city came together to cheer, to judge, and to feel connected to the power of Rome. But Rome fell, and this is where the story of the Arles Arena becomes truly unique. In most places, when the empire collapsed, the arenas were abandoned or used as quarries for stone. But here in Arles, the people did something extraordinary. They moved in as the world outside became dangerous, with barbarians and Saracens raiding the coast. The people of Arles needed protection. They looked at these thick, indestructible walls and saw a fortress. By the Middle Ages, the gladiators were gone. In their place, a town had sprouted inside the oval. It's hard to visualize now, but imagine more than 200 small houses built tightly on the arena floor and up on the terraces. They built chapels. They even built a public square in the center. The arches you see now were bricked up to form a defensive wall. Look at the top of the arena. Do you see the square towers jutting out? Those aren't Roman. Those are medieval watchtowers. There were originally 4. 3 remain. For centuries, this was an arena. It was a castrum arenarum, the castle of the arena, a city within a city. It wasn't until the 19th century that the writer Prosper Mérimée led the charge to clear out the houses and restore the monument to its Roman glory. Before we turn our attention to the streets, we must mention the man who saw this place in a different light, Vincent van Gogh. When Van Gogh lived in Arles in 1888, he painted the crowds here. But by then, the gladiators were long gone. They had been replaced by the bull games. Even today, Arles is the capital of French bullfighting. But unlike the Spanish edition, the local course Camagüey's doesn't involve killing the bull. Instead, brave young men in white try to snatch a rosette from the bull's horns. If you visit during the feria festivals, the stones vibrate once again with the same energy they held 2,000 years ago. It creates a seamless link between the ancient past and the living present. Now, let's turn our backs to the arena and look at the world that surrounds it. The streets here, like the Rue Porte de l'Or or the Rond Point d'Arnes, are special. Notice how they curve? The city planning here was dictated by the monument. The houses huddle around the arena like spectators trying to get a better view. Walk a few steps down one of these narrow alleys. The scale changes instantly. You go from a massive, imperial stone of the arena to the intimate, human scale of Provence. Look at the facades. The shutters are painted in lavender, sage green, and sunflower yellow. There are creeping vines and flower pots on the windowsills. The light here hits the stone walls and turns them a warm, golden honey color. The exact light that drove Van Gogh mad with inspiration. These streets are a labyrinth. They were built narrow to keep out the fierce Mistral wind and to provide shade during the scorching summers. As you wander away, take one last look back at the arches. Arles is a city of contrasts. It is a place where Roman power meets Provençal charm, where the blood of gladiators gave way to the prayers of medieval villagers, and finally, to the brushstrokes of painters. Thank you for walking with us today. Enjoy the rest of your discovery of beautiful Arles.